Good evening, and welcome to the Northwest Florida Daily News Judicial Candidates Forum. My name is Pat Rice, and I'm the editor of the Daily News. And I have a cold, so bear with me. If you hear a cough drop rattling around in my mouth, I'll try to keep that out of the way. I'll introduce the candidates for District 1 Circuit Judge in a moment, but first a couple of ground rules. First, if you have a cell phone, please turn it off so that it doesn't interrupt the forum. Secondly, it's okay to respond to the candidates' introductions with applause. And it is okay to respond to each candidate's opening statement with applause. But please refrain from any response to either candidate during the question and answer portion that makes up the majority of this forum. At the conclusion of the question and answer portion of the forum, you may respond again with applause to the candidate's closing statements, and I hope you do. Now I'd like to introduce each candidate in alphabetical order. Terry Ketchel has been a longtime resident of Northwest Florida, having arrived in 1959. He graduated from Choctawhatchee High School in 1973, Duke University in 1977, and the University of Florida School of Law in 1981. He has been a practicing attorney for 23 years. Mr. Ketchel's principal area of practice is as a commercial trial lawyer in both state and federal court. He currently is a managing partner in the law firm of Ketchel & Lester, located in Okaloosa County. He is married to Carolyn Ketchel, and they have 2 sons. Mr. Ketchel, welcome to the forum. Dixie Dan Powell was born and raised in Northwest Florida. He graduated from Crestview High School in 1974. He graduated from the University of South Florida in 1979 and South Texas College of Law in Houston in 1984. He has been a partner in the law firm of Powell, Powell & Powell in Crestview since 1986. He has been a practicing attorney for more than 20 years. Mr. Powell's principal areas of practice are personal injury and family law, although he's practiced in other areas as well. He has significant experience in both state and federal court. He is married to Teresa Kelly Powell, and they have 2 daughters. Mr. Powell, welcome to the forum. Now, before we begin, I want to introduce one other person. That's our timekeeper, Kelly Humphrey, and she is our North Okaloosa County editor. Kelly? Now, Kelly's job is to make sure we stay on track. So candidates, when you have 15 seconds left in your allotted time to speak on any given question or response, Kelly will hold up a yellow card. When she holds up the red card, you have reached the end of your time and you must stop. So at that point, please conclude your statements. A flip of the coin beforehand determined which candidate will go first. That would be Mr. Ketchel. So, Mr. Ketchel, you have 2 minutes for your opening statement.
Thank you very much. And thank all of you all for taking the time to come out of your busy schedules and to be here tonight. It's been an honor to be able to participate in this campaign. This is a very honored position. We have here tonight 2 of our judges who took the time to come out and watch this event as well. And it just really shows the importance of this particular seat, not only for the individuals who come before the court, but also this entire community as a whole. I'm very pleased to have my wife here 23 years. This has been a long campaign, and I think Dixie and I will agree on at least one thing tonight. We'll be very pleased to be finished with it next Tuesday. But I'm pleased to be here. I'm pleased to talk about our credentials. I'm pleased to be able to talk about our judicial philosophy and about our involvement in the community, all of which I think are very important in really deciding a judicial candidate. The introduction was very comprehensive. Pat talked a little bit about my background. I have a broad background in commercial litigation, and also in family law and criminal law early in my career. But principally, I've been a trial litigator. I've tried cases throughout the state of Florida, primarily in the First Judicial Circuit, but also throughout the southeastern United States. I've been involved in a number of very complex trials, all of which really prepared me for this position because I've seen a broad array of judges in my tenure in my various trial practice, and I think that's very, very important. So I'm looking forward to being able to discuss our credentials, to be able to discuss our various judicial philosophy throughout this forum. Thank you very much.
Mr. Powell, you now have 2 minutes for your opening statement.
Thank you, Pat. I am very pleased to be here. Thank you all for coming out. And Terry and I have been in this race going on our 10th month now. We both qualified in early February. It's been a long campaign, and I have really enjoyed getting out and meeting the people and learning about politics. And believe me, I've got a postgraduate degree in politics. By the end of this campaign on Tuesday, I'll be graduating. But let me tell you a little bit about myself. I'm a fifth-generation resident of Northwest Florida. I was born and raised in Crestview. This particular seat will be in Crestview. And I literally grew up in that courthouse. When I was in college, I would come home and watch my brother and my cousin and my father and other lawyers try cases. And I would come home and go with them and watch. And I literally grew up there. I know everybody in that courthouse. I have a lot of friends in that courthouse. And that's where this seat will be. And my roots run real deep in Northwest Florida. I have a real deep sense of respect for our community leaders and our elderly pioneers. And this position, trial court position, the circuit court position is a trial court position. And that means that this is the judge that tries the complex civil and criminal jury trials. They also handle family law, juvenile cases, dependency cases, first appearances at the jail, and Baker Acts, mental health issues, and they handle a wide variety of cases. And this is the type of judge you see on TV. The circuit court judge is a judge that handles the O.J. Simpson trial and the Jessica Lunsford trial. You must have this critical jury trial experience in both the civil and criminal arenas to handle this job. You can't go in there and expect not to start right away and learn this position. But I'm proud to be able to have worked to gain the experience necessary that will allow me to serve in this position. Thank you very much.
Okay, Mr. Powell, the first question goes to you. And it's this: what is your primary motivation for leaving private practice for a government job? Why do you want to be a circuit judge?
Well, that's a good question. The other night, early in the campaign, Dixiana, my 4-year-old daughter, was sitting on my knee, and she looked up and said, "Daddy, why do you want to be a judge?" I looked at her and I said, "Well, Dixiana, that's a good question." But I thought about it long and hard. I never really ever thought about getting into politics or wanting to really be a judge until this seat became available. Judge Tolton, who is retiring in January because of term and age limits, is retiring, and this seat was previously held by my father, Philip C. Powell Sr., 30 years ago. So I talked to my law firm and my partners and my family and my friends, and I said that I was thinking of running for Judge Tolton's seat. And so I think that my legal heritage goes deep, and I will continue that legal tradition in my family. And I think I will be able to serve the public very well in that capacity. I've got 20 years of courtroom experience and representing the people and the families of this community. And I think that will bring benefit to the bench and help maintain the integrity it deserves.
Just one word. If you could hold the applause till the end at this point during the question and answer period. Mr. Powell, you have 1 minute for this. Mr. Ketchel, rather, you have 1 minute for the same question.
Don't give it twice now. That's really a very important question because it really talks about the motivation of why we're running for this office. I take a great deal of pride and really appreciate and work hard for my clients. That's really what has motivated me in private practice. The relationship that I have with my clients and representing them and really helping them solve problems. Although I'm primarily a litigator, I really view myself as a problem solver. And really, I've served my clients. This gives me an opportunity to serve the community as a whole. And quite simply, that's why I want to run. That's why I want this job, because I want to be able to serve the broader community. As I wind down my career, I very much want to be able to serve the broader community as opposed just to the individuals who are in my individual practice.
Thank you. Mr. Ketchel, the next question.